I'm going to talk about ancient Greek philosophy. Greece, apart from its beautiful islands, Souvlaki and the word Malaga, also very famous because it's widely known as the birthplace of Western philosophy. Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle are just some of the many Greek philosophers, and they were very influential. Today, we're going to give you two very interesting examples of our philosophical heritage. The first one relates to human science, and the second relates to mathematics. I'm going to talk about the first one, and Eleni is going to talk about the second. So, has any one of you have ever heard of the name Plato before?
Yes. Plato.
Yeah.
Plato, in Greek it's Plato. So Plato was born in 427 before Christ, and he was the student of Socrates and the teacher of Aristotle. So he was like the middle child of Greek philosophy. He presented the very famous allegory of the cave in Greek, the Allegoria του Σπηλαίου. It's this one. And an allegory is basically a story with a hidden meaning. And the meaning behind this story has to do with knowledge and the way that and how uneducated people conceive the reality of the world in a wrong way. So, let's see. Here are some people that are bounded to pillars in front of the wall. Their hands are tied to each other, also their feet, and they can't move their heads either, they can only look forward. Behind them there is a small wall, and above the wall there are objects being carried by some other people. And this is very dark inside the cave. The sunlight can't reach the inside of the cave. The only light is the light of the burning fire, which forms these shadows of the objects. So the bounded people can only look at these shadows. It's like a shadow puppetry or a shadow play. And they think that what they see is the reality and it's the only thing that exists. Sometimes, some people can escape the cave and go out and look at the sunlight, but because they were never, they lived their entire life inside the cave, they've never seen the sunlight, they're so used to being in the darkness, so they are afraid and they come back inside the cave. But if they manage to stay outside, they can finally understand and see the reality of the world. The bounded people are the uneducated people, and as they gain knowledge, they slowly free themselves and go out of the cave into the real world. Once they are out, they should go back inside so they can help the other bounded people see the sunlight too. So, in conclusion, the hidden meaning is that knowledge is the only thing that can help you free yourself and break free from the lies, the fakeness, and the illusions, and to see the reality of the world as it really is.
Great. So I'm going to continue with a mathematical example. But first of all, I want to talk to you about the infinity. So the example is about counting infinity based according to Aristotelis in Greek, and Zenon, who lived in Italy. We use the word infinity in our everyday life, but we are not exactly. It's pretty vague how we can, give a meaning to the word infinity. For example, we may ask ourselves, can we count infinity actually? How big can infinity be? How huge can infinity be actually? To be more clear. So in mathematics, infinity is close to the word uncountable. It means that if I start counting the natural numbers, which are the numbers that I can see in nature, that's why they call nature, For example, if I start from 1 and keep going to infinity, like 1, 2, 3, and counting, I can never reach an end. My whole life is not enough, so I can count these numbers. And if I think about the real numbers, which goes from 1 to 3 and 1 minus 1 minus 2, it's even bigger the problem. So infinity is something that is uncountable and has no end. But that doesn't mean that every uncountable thing can be described as infinity. So what Zenon tried to prove is like a paradox. A paradox in Greece means that you have a sentence which maybe makes sense at first, but when you reach the conclusion, it seems like it's based on logical facts. So I'm going to need Stelios, who's going to sit there, and he's going to be a watcher in a stadium. So we have a big stadium, and he's watching me, who I am a runner. So I want to run a distance in this stadium, and Stelios is watching me from above. So Zenon said that this runner will start running, and every time he runs, like in this distance, for example, right now I'm going to run till the middle of the distance that I started, and Stelios. So right now I'm in the middle. And every time I'm counting again from the start. So now the distance is from me to Stelios again. And I'll run through the middle. And then again, and then again. And all the time I'm dividing this distance into parts. But this process can be going on forever, like infinity. Every time I do this, from the smallest atoms until my shoes touch the end of the distance. This can keep going on. So Stelios sees actually a runner running to the stadium with this thing in his mind, Zenon described, and until he is really tired and he's ready to fall down and he's exhausted. So Stelios, who is actually somebody who has succeeded finding a way to understand infinity, the one that I'm running, because I'm running to infinity as Zenon described, thinks that what I should really do is like take a huge jump above all those little distances that I counted and understand infinity as a whole. Because that's the way we study infinity in maths, and that's the way a person can understand infinity. You cannot start counting. I mean, imagine a child starting counting with his hands infinity. It will never be possible. So that's what mathematics encourages you to do in order to understand infinity, and that's what Zenon described, that you cannot always keep counting the distance, because that will be impossible. And that's how you can count infinity. So yeah, thank you so much.